The royal trident, etched with ancient Atlantean symbols, felt heavier than usual in his grasp. Its weight not just of physical mass, but of centuries of expectation. From the panoramic window of his throne room, Arthur Curry, king of Atlantis, gazed not at the shimmering coral cities below, but upwards towards the churning, distant surface. A tremor of unease, as subtle as the deep ocean currents, ran through him. He was a king, yes, by birthright and by strength, but the crown of Atlantis was far from a gilded ornament. It was a vice pressing down on him from all sides, demanding an impossible balance. For many, the title of King of Atlantis conjures images of majestic underwater cities, untold power, and regal authority. And while these elements certainly exist, they often overshadow the profound and relentless burden that comes with the crown, particularly for Arthur. His lineage connects him to two worlds, the human and the Atlantean, making him a bridge, but also a constant battlefield. Unlike his predecessors, Arthur cannot simply rule from the isolation of his kingdom. His very existence, his dual heritage, demands engagement with a surface world that Atlantis, for generations, has deliberately shunned. This isolation, born from a desire for peace and preservation, has instead fostered deep-seated suspicion on both sides, transforming the tranquil depths into a political minefield. Recognizing the unsustainable nature of this mutual distrust, Arthur made a daring, almost audacious move. He established the Spindrift Station. Imagine it, an Atlantean embassy, not hidden in some remote ocean trench, but boldly positioned on American soil, a shimmering testament to diplomacy rising from the sea. It was a tangible symbol of his commitment to bridge the chasm between his people and the surface dwellers, a place for dialogue, for understanding, for shared future. Spindrift was Arthur's boldest gamble for peace, a beacon in the often murky waters of international relations. It was meant to foster collaboration on issues from ecological preservation to oceanic research, proving that Atlantis could be a partner, not just a distant mythical threat. Yet, the path to peace is rarely smooth, especially when centuries of fear and prejudice run deep. Arthur quickly found himself caught in a precarious dance, constantly navigating suspicion and open hostility from both sides. From within Atlantis emerged extremist factions like the Deluge. These were Atlanteans fiercely dedicated to their kingdom's purity and isolation, viewing Arthur's diplomatic overtures as a betrayal, a weakening of their ancient ways. They saw the surface world not as a potential partner, but as a corrupting force, a source of pollution and destructive ambition that must be kept at arm's length or even purged. Their acts of sabotage and defiance often threatened to destabilize Atlantis from within, forcing Arthur to constantly quell internal strife even as he looked outward. And then, on the surface, shadowy organizations like NEMO, the Network of Marine Observation, lurked. Driven by a blend of fear, xenophobia, and a hunger for Atlantean technology and resources, NEMO saw Atlantis as a threat to global security, or worse, a prize to be exploited. They operated clandestinely, sowing discord, orchestrating incidents, and even attempting to provoke open conflict. Arthur, caught between these two relentless pressures, frequently finds himself battling on two fronts simultaneously, proving his loyalty to his own people while demonstrating his peaceful intentions to a skeptical human world. The stakes of this constant balancing act couldn't be higher. Every misstep, every unchecked act of extremism from either side carries the very risk of igniting a catastrophic world war. Arthur is not just a king, he is a crucial buffer, a lone voice of reason in a cacophony of fear and aggression. He has, on multiple occasions, stared down the barrel of global conflict, using diplomacy, force, and sheer willpower to avert crises that could have plunged the entire planet into chaos. Each time, the burden grows heavier. The lines between duty and impossible demand blur further. The weight of billions of lives, both above and below the waves, rests squarely on his shoulders, forcing him to make choices that are never easy, always fraught with peril. Think for a moment about that solitary figure, Arthur. the heir to a kingdom, yet constantly defending his choices to his own subjects. The supposed bridge between worlds, yet frequently met with suspicion from both sides. It's a relentless test of leadership, demanding not just strength, but an almost unending wellspring of empathy and foresight. He must understand the deep-seated fears of his isolationist people, while also recognizing the legitimate anxieties and often misguided actions of the surface world. This isn't just about grand battles every day, though those certainly happen. It's about the quiet, agonizing decisions, the political tightrope walk, the constant negotiation in the face of ingrained prejudice. It is a lonely path, walked by a monarch whose reign is defined not by splendor, but by the relentless effort to prevent catastrophe. So, the next time you hear the name Aquaman, perhaps look beyond the surface-level perceptions. Understand that his crown is not merely a symbol of power, but a crucible, forging a leader who must continually navigate the most treacherous political waters imaginable. His reign is a testament to the heavy burden of duty, the tireless pursuit of peace in a world poised on the brink, and the profound challenge of bridging divides that seem at times insurmountable. He is a king, yes, but more importantly, a bulwark against the very risk of a global conflict, fighting not just for Atlantis, but for the fragile peace of the entire planet. What are your thoughts on Aquaman's struggle? Does his unique position make him a more compelling hero to you? Share your perspectives in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deeper dive into the challenges faced by the King of Atlantis, please consider following for more stories that explore the unseen complexities behind our favorite characters. Your engagement helps us continue these conversations.